Hi, I'm Roger Brim, the Head of Marketing and Sponsorship Insights at Hookit. Welcome to Hookit's Formula One 2021 season and sponsorship recap. I'll walk you through the social media reach and growth of the series over the past season, the sponsorship impact for brands and which brands saw the best results, the top campaigns throughout the season, and key lessons and takeaways as we look forward to the 2022 campaign. Before we dive into the F1 data, here's a quick review of who we are at Hookit and what we do. Hookit is the leading AI-powered sponsorship technology platform, empowering brands to evaluate and optimize their athlete and sports partnerships. The best CMOs and sports marketing executives realize that social media is now central to maximizing the value of sponsorship marketing spends. As a pioneer in the SponTech space and strategic partner of the world's largest brands, Hookit empowers marketers to impact the bottom line by measuring sponsorship spend and partnerships against a standardized set of KPIs. We combine real-time dashboards with insights and recommendations that can be leveraged across your organization to positively impact your sponsorship strategy and results. Here's a look at how that system works. We start by capturing every public social media post by professional athletes, teams, leagues, events, and venues across the major social platforms like Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Here's an example post from Formula One. To start, our computer vision scans the post for any sort of brand promotion, be that a logo in the image or video, or a mention or tag in the caption. In our example post, there are several brand logos present, but only one brand, Crypto.com, mentioned in the text. Once a post is found to have brand promotion, then the AI then moves on to calculating the potential value of that post to the brands included in it. You can think of this max ad value, or MAV, as how much a brand would have to pay to advertise on the given social platform to get the engagement that happened on that particular post. In our case, this post was on Twitter and received nearly 31,000 likes and about 2,000 retweets. Each of these engagement types has a specific known cost to them, so the computer is able to calculate the max ad value of the post for all the brands included. In this case, the max ad value for this post is $19,000. However, not all of those brands get the same impact of the post. In this example, it is a clear promotion for Crypto.com, and the other brands happen to be included thanks to their team sponsorship and logo on the race suit. This is where promotion quality comes in. There are several factors that impact the promotion quality for each brand, including how large and clear the logo is, how many other brands are included in the post, and where the brand is promoted in a video in the case of a video posts. Each brand gets a unique promotion quality. In this case, Crypto.com received a promotion quality of 83.9%. Very high, but expected for a dedicated post like this. For context, the average promotion quality of any given post across sports is between 20 to 25%. To calculate the adjusted ad value, or actual sponsorship value of the posts for Crypto.com, we multiply the max ad value of $19,000 with the promotion quality of 83.9% to get an AAV of $15,900. That is the value of this post for Crypto.com. In comparison, with the race suit exposure, Cognizant received a 16% promotion quality. When multiplied with the post's MAV, the AAV for Cognizant is just $3,000. That's how sponsorship value is derived, and what I will be referring to as we dive into the sponsorship data from the 2021 Formula One season. Our next topic is social reach and impact of Formula One. Looking back at the Formula One 2021 season, we are going to focus on the impact the league had with fans and brands on social media. To start, let's look at how Formula One compares to other major global sports leagues like the NBA, Premier League, or MotoGP. This graphic shows the top global sports leagues on social media. The NBA and UEFA Champions League have by far the most followers on league accounts, each with over 200 million. Formula One has about 46 million. When it comes to fan engagement, which we define as the likes, comments, shares, and video views on posts by these leagues, F1 is fourth behind the NBA, Champions League, and UFC. Compared to the Premier League and La Liga, Formula One has 1/3 the followers, but generated over 2 times the fan engagement on social media. Formula One generated the third most sponsorship value for brands of any league across the world of sports in 2021, behind only the NBA and UEFA Champions League. MotoGP, the number 2 series in motorsports, ended 2021 with 24% fewer followers and 70% less total fan engagement on nearly the exact same number of posts as F1. Formula One is the clear leader in motorsports and one of the biggest sports leagues on social media globally. Focusing in on Formula One, when you combine the drivers, teams, and the series accounts on social media, they have a combined 285 million followers, an increase of nearly 80 million followers since the start of 2021. The drivers and organizations in F1 posted 95,000 times on social in 2021, an average of 260 posts per day. And most importantly, fans were more engaged than ever, registering 9.6 billion engagements on posts across the series, 50% more than in 2020. Of course, the 2020 season was interrupted by the pause in sporting events due to COVID, but the significant increase is a great sign of growth for the series. Focusing on the teams in F1, performance on social media is highly correlated with performance on the track. When looking at the teams ordered by their final F1 standings, most of the key social metrics are very close to the same order. No team on social, be it followers, engagement, or value, is more than 2 places outside of their final track ranking. For drivers, performance on social media is not as correlated with performance on the track, as is the case with teams. Look at up-and-coming driver George Russell. He outperformed on social media compared to his final track ranking, whereas Valtteri Bottas, whom Russell is replacing with Mercedes in 2022, underperformed on social media compared to his final track ranking this season. Everything came down to the final race to decide the champion for the 2021 season, and that buildup is clear in the fan engagement on posts from the Etihad Airways Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Outside of the final race, which saw 35% more engagement per post than any other Grand Prix this season, Azerbaijan and Monaco led the rest of the races in average fan engagement per post. As a brand, knowing when fans are most engaged is key to timing posts for partners and maximizing sponsorship value. Let's change gears and look at the brands involved in F1, both as constructors and as sponsors, and how they were promoted throughout the season. Let's start with the constructors, the brands responsible for developing and building the race cars. Mercedes was promoted in the most posts among constructors this season, appearing in nearly 14,000 posts. However, Red Bull received the most total sponsorship value among any brand in F1, constructor or sponsor, at $123 million. McLaren and Red Bull ranked 1 and 2 among constructors for the highest average sponsorship value per branded post, boosting McLaren into 4th place, ahead of Ferrari, which received 61% more branded posts than McLaren. These rankings show total sponsorship value, including incidental logo exposure and intentional promotion of the brand through text promotion or a branded tag. Deliberate promotion must include a tag of the brand in the posts. When it comes to deliberate promotion of the constructor brands, the deliberate sponsorship value rankings are very similar to the total value rankings, including incidental promotion, with only Honda seeing significant movement, dropping from 3rd to 8th. McLaren and Ferrari had the highest portion of their branded posts include deliberate promotion, each over 55%, while Mercedes, Honda, and Alfa Romeo were all deliberately promoted in under 30% of their respective branded posts, meaning they received a higher portion of their promotion through simple logo exposure. Only Alpine and Honda saw less than 70% of their total value come from posts that included deliberate promotion. For the sponsor brands, Mercedes partner Petronas came in at number 1 by sponsorship value received. In fact, the top 2 brands by AAV that are not F1 global partners, Petronas and Ineos, are both key partners of the Mercedes F1 team. Speaking of F1 global partners, Pirelli's tire partnership got the brand more exposure than any other brand in F1, appearing in over 23,000 posts. However, due to the nature of the sport, the quality of promotion for Pirelli, often a blurry logo on the tires, was much lower than the industry average. Among these top 20 brands in F1, Heineken, an official series partner, had the highest average AAV per post at $7,400, propelling the brand up to 5th place by sponsorship value, even though Heineken received fewer posts than most of these top 20 brands. Looking at the deliberate promotion for sponsor brands, Petronas keeps the top ranking. Some of the biggest beneficiaries of the deliberate promotion were Netflix, Aramco, and GoPro, each receiving over 60% of their total sponsorship value through deliberate promotion and jumping over 30 spots compared to their overall AAV ranking. In contrast, Pirelli received only 8% of its total sponsorship value through deliberate promotion, but still received the 3rd most deliberate value among sponsors. Zooming out from specific brands to look at industry trends, it is no surprise to see the automotive industry receiving the most total value compared to any other category, as it includes most of the constructor brands, as well as the most promoted brand in the series, Pirelli. However, the energy and logistics categories received the highest average sponsorship value per brand promoted, edging out automotive and beverage brands. Each of these 4 categories averages in the range of $1.9 million to $2.5 million in sponsorship value per brand, while the rest of the categories all fall under $800,000 in sponsorship value per brand promoted. Where does the value come from? Mainly the league. The F1 official series accounts, at F1, generate 60% of the total fan engagement and 62% of the total sponsorship value. Even when it comes to deliberate promotion, the series nearly equals the total deliberate sponsorship value generated from the teams and drivers combined. However, this value is spread among many brands, with the series deliberately tagging 58 different brands. In comparison, teams each promoted 36 brands deliberately on average, and the average driver promoted 12 brands deliberately. So where can a brand expect the most bang for their buck? The answer is still with the series. Each deliberately promoted brand from F1 averaged $3 million in AAV, compared to $375,000 in sponsorship value for a brand deliberately promoted by one team, and $220,000 for a brand deliberately promoted by one driver. Of course, these are averages, so the content and frequency of promotion can significantly impact the return on sponsorship investment that your brand sees. Now let's dive into a few campaigns that brands ran this past season with the series, the teams, and the drivers. There weren't many dedicated branded campaigns that were consistent throughout the season, which is key to continuous consumer engagement and driving sponsorship value. If you're not able to run a long-term campaign, focus on key moments in the season, like a driver coming up on a new record, or high-profile races like Monaco. Highlight content during and just after the race always sees high fan engagement. That brings us to our first campaign to highlight, DHL's Moments That Deliver, in partnership with the Formula One series accounts. This campaign ran throughout the season, focused on highlight content such as the Fastest Lap Award, and generated over $2.5 million in sponsorship value for the series logistics partner. However, value could have been even higher with a better platform strategy. Nearly 2/3 of the posts happened on Twitter, but 89% of the sponsorship value came from Instagram. By moving more of those posts to Instagram, F1 could have significantly increased the value for DHL from this campaign with the same content. Another excellent season-long campaign was F1 promoting tire partner Pirelli. Pirelli didn't receive a lot of deliberate branded posts, but the Pirelli Pole Position Award was a constant throughout the season. This campaign saw a special milestone for driver Lewis Hamilton this season, achieving his record 100th pole position, well ahead of any other driver in F1 history. Value in this campaign also spiked for key races like Monaco, Saudi Arabia, and Abu Dhabi, confirming that key moments with increased fan engagement are major value drivers for brands that activate around them. We remember that Petronas received the most value from deliberate promotion by teams. Their key partnership role makes that expected. However, teams proved that it's not just on-the-track content that fans engage with. Other high-performing campaigns include various types of content, such as virtual race or gaming footage, seen here in this campaign by Red Bull Racing for Citrix. No actual racing footage was included in this campaign, and yet it generated over $1 million in sponsorship value for the technology brands. Another type of content that worked well was livery reveals, specifically this special livery by McLaren highlighting their partnership with Gulf Oil. 29% of posts and 68% of Gulf oil value came from McLaren during the time period surrounding the Monaco Grand Prix when this special livery was unveiled. Before starting a new campaign, know how that content has performed for the team in the past so you can know what level of engagement and AAV to expect as results. Driver partnerships come with challenges, including lots of competing branding from team or F1 sponsors on the race suits or track. Drivers account for only 10% of all deliberate branded posts in F1, limiting the potential value for brand partners. If you have drivers as brand ambassadors, work with them to tag your brand in a consistent set of posts that make sense for your brand while limiting other brands in these posts. This will maximize your sponsorship return. For example, Sergio Perez promoted Telcel consistently throughout the season. The campaign value isn't quite as high as some of the team partnerships we looked at, but the theme is similar. The top two posts are both from when Perez won the Azerbaijan race in June. Perez's fan engagement spiked after the victory, and so did the value he generated for his partner brands. Capitalize on these key moments. While Telcel had a partnership solely with Sergio Perez, Bell Helmets supplied helmets to multiple drivers across the series. The challenge for Bell is that even though the helmets have a small Bell logo on them, other sponsors typically have larger logos, limiting the promotion quality for the brands. Finally, a key part of running a successful campaign is meeting the fans where they are. Platform strategy on branded posts is critical to maximizing fan engagement and sponsorship value. Which platforms see the highest average fan engagement in F1? TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. These three platforms see 17 times more average fan engagement per post than Twitter or Facebook. But over 50% of branded posts across F1 are on Facebook and Twitter. TikTok and YouTube each see less than 5% of deliberate branded posts in F1. When asking for branded posts from an F1 partner, focus on the platforms with highest fan engagement: Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. That wraps up our analysis of the 2021 Formula One season on social media. To recap, a few of the major takeaways for brands when thinking about their 2022 plans are that Formula One is a powerhouse on social media, specifically the series accounts. If you are able to work with the league to get deliberate branded posts for your brand, those can be highly effective content. But remember, there are key periods in the season when fans are most engaged, such as the Monaco Grand Prix or toward the end of the season. Take advantage of this increased fan engagement and focus your campaigns on pivotal moments. Finally, know what audience you want to reach and where they engage. If 80% of your partner's engagement comes on Instagram and they only promote your brand on Twitter, that's a big miss. Platforms matter as much as the content in the campaign, so don't overlook that piece of the puzzle. Again, I'm Roger Brim, and from all of us at Hookit, thanks for watching, and reach out to us at insights@hookit.com if you have any follow-up questions about the data or insights in this video.